So, good afternoon one more time. My name is Timur Vinahodov. I'm working as a junior program consultant at the Hector School. And today I will be glad to give you an insight into the admission process of the Hector School. Actually, my colleague is in charge for this, our admission manager, but she's not here. She's absent this week, so I took this task over. But I guess it will be uh, interesting as well. So let us move on. So here is a quick agenda. How today's presentation looks like. So here you can see that I will tell you like really briefly just one slide about our 6 executive master programs. Then we will have a look into our school services, and then it will be then this round of answers and questions as well. So admission requirements, we will have a talk about application process, of course, about financial aspects, about living and studying in Karlsruhe and as in the city in general. And then there will be other frequently asked questions about the study. These questions frequently asked, this is like the really asked question that we receive from our students almost like every session. That's why we separated them. So maybe you will have the same question. So I will ask, I will answer them already. So let's move on. Here is the slide that is dedicated to our 6 master programs. So first of all, we are Hector School, we are Business and Technology School of the KIT, and we offer 6 executive master programs, mostly focused on engineers and for engineers. So here you can see the overview of them. So we offer master programs, so master degrees in energy engineering, in financial engineering, in information systems engineering, and in management of product development, in mobility systems engineering, and production operations management. So all our master programs, this is a combination of engineering modules and management modules, and we have a block structure. So it means that the entire master program consists of 10 modules, 5 engineering modules, 5 management modules. The duration of each module is 2 weeks. And within these 2 weeks, students attend like full time the lecture. They need to be here live in house from 8 till 5 or 5:30. Then Saturdays, they have exams. And then there is a break between the modules. This break is from 4 to 6 weeks, and this time can be dedicated just to work. So the students, they won't receive anything that is connected to the university, no presentations, no theory, no homeworks, nothing. So you can be just focused on working at the company or at the institute of the KIT. 4 of our master programs, they offer module abroad. Yeah, so just module abroad in at another international location. So if we are talking about MPD and POM, these master programs offer one module, the last one, 5th engineering module in China, where we have partnership, and mobility systems and energy engineering, we offer one management module in Spain at ESADE, this business school in Barcelona. So let's move on to our services. So we offer actually a big variety of services, and here we mention just the most important as for the students. So first of all, it is support during the admission process. So we can answer all the specific questions and we can give direct answers to them. It can be any topic you would like to hear. For example, you need a consultation and support about the admission from the consulate or just from university or something like this. We can organize everything and we can help you. Also, if you need a deeper insight into the Hector School, into the certain master program or something like this, we can also arrange a meeting to give you this, and we can support you during the whole admission process and answer, as I mentioned, all your questions, as well as provide with any document that you need, as I mentioned, for the consulate or something like this to receive the student visa. Then student services, there are several of them, but the majority, of course, we offer them in cooperation with KIT, since we are part of KIT. So every service that the main university offers, you can take part on it. It doesn't matter whether it's entrepreneurship courses, for example, German courses or sport activities. You can take part on everything you like. And then last but not least, two topics that actually should go together. This is career counseling and job placement. We support students to find a proper position while they are studying at Hector School. That's why I decided to unite these topics. So if you are struggling, this is especially important for the international students. So if you are struggling, how to organize your CV and all your application documents, so let us just arrange an interview, an appointment, and then we can help you. I'm actually, because I'm also in charge for that. Um, so I will help you to organize your CV properly, to write some maybe motivation letters. So just to have a good like overview, to have for your documents, to have them a good look. And then the job placement, since we are located in the Karlsruhe, this is the second biggest city of Baden-Württemberg. We have some cooperations with companies and of course with the other institutes of KIT. So we offer some positions to our students, and we try to give a perfect match for students for work and study. And of course, for example, if the student is studying energy engineering master program, of course we will try to find a position in the energy area and not in a other external area that doesn't correspond his or her master program. So let us talk about admission requirements. So as the usual, university, business school, doesn't matter, we have of course admission requirements. They are quite simple, but nevertheless, let us go through them. So the first one is academic requirements. We require, of course, first university degree. It must be at least bachelor. Of course, we have also students who would like to obtain their second master degree, or who already have diploma or PhD from other universities, but want, for example, change their area of occupation, and they were doing, for example, something that is connected with informatics and would like to switch to the financial area. So it doesn't really matter for us. The main thing, you need to have at least one academic degree. Then we have a professional requirement. This is about professional experience. Even if you have a bachelor degree, but you don't have any professional experience after you obtain your bachelor degree, unfortunately, we cannot accept you. So it means that we require working experience. So depending on your bachelor degree, and in question, depending on how many ECTS points or credit hours you had, we require from 1 to 2 years of working experience, but recommended is 3, because the majority of our students, they have from 3 to 5 years of working experience. But if you have at least 2, you are welcome. So there are no problems for you to apply to the Hector School. Then, of course, CV, as usual, the overview of your life, your work experience as well, your educational experience, and any other projects. For example, maybe you have some scientific articles, etc. So we need to have a look at it definitely. Then job references. So job references, it's actually two separate documents: letter of recommendation and job reference. So letter of recommendation, this is usually a letter from your university, of course, former university. Where did you do your bachelor or master, for example, from the professor or from from your lecturer, maybe scientific supervisor as well. And there must be like how long the lecturer had been teaching you, and of course which subject, and of course then your characteristics. It must be not a long one, just one A4 page with your characteristics, what was especially good from your side, what was maybe not so good, but we need to see it. And then there is a job reference itself. This is the same letter, but from the company you are now working at or you were working at, as also with the same statement, but it must be from either your HR or direct chef, where it is also stated which position did you occupy, what is or what are your areas or area of responsibility, your everyday tasks, and also your characteristics. What are you doing especially good, what maybe not so good. That happens. Yeah, and actually that's it. And then there will be interviews, actually two, with the Hector School and KIT, of course. So the first interview will be with the program consultant. It's in majority of cases with me. And then the final step will be the interview with the program director. And then the program director, he or she will take this final decision whether you admitted to the master program or not. Since all our master programs, they are taught in English, we have language requirements. So you need to prove us that you have good, significant English knowledge. It can be either TOEFL test or IELTS or any proof of language equal, of course. So we receive sometimes inquiries if it is possible to apply with a Duolingo test. No, it is not possible. Of course, if English is your native language, you don't need to provide us with anything. So you don't need to worry. So let us have a look at the application process. As I mentioned, in general, there are 3 steps of it, and approximately it takes 6 weeks. Actually, we review the application quite fast, but there is a problem then to arrange an interview with the program director. I mean, the problem is the time. Program directors, these are professors from the KIT, so they have a dense schedule, very dense, so, and they are always attending and organizing different fairs, conferences, and so on. So it takes always some time to organize an interview with them. So the first step of application process is, of course, submission of your application. So what does it mean? That you need to prepare, of course, all the documents and apply these documents to the site, to our portal. We don't have actually application deadlines since we have a rolling application process. However, if you are a student, international student, and isn't as international, I mean, if your citizenship is not from the country of European Union, we recommend you to apply latest by June. Why so? Because then you need an extra time with the consulate and embassies to apply for the visa, and it always takes some time. Of course, it depends on the country, but at least 2-3 months. So you need to take it into account that you need to come, of course, here on time. So you need to prepare everything a little bit earlier. So what documents will I need to upload in the online application portal? These are the documents that I already mentioned, but here you can have a look once again. So this is, of course, CV, then picture of yours, job reference, letter of recommendation, bachelor certificate, of course, transcript of records. This is what we must see, and English language test as well. So high school diploma, financial declaration, and letter of recommendation, that is actually optional. So it would be good if you have it, but it's not a must. So the next, the review of your application. So here the main question is what happens after I have submitted my application. So there are usually 3 ways what happens next. So if some documents are missing, don't worry. You will receive an email notification from us that you need to send us extra such documents. So then you have time, you can send the documents just easy, so you don't need to be a rush in a hurry or something like this. Unfortunately, if the requirements are not met, for example, you have just 1 year of working experience after doing your bachelor, then unfortunately we cannot accept you. Just in several cases we can. Then you will receive a refusal. Unfortunately, then we cannot proceed with your application. You will receive a refusal, and unfortunately, that's it. However, if all requirements are met, or you will receive an invitation to an interview. As I mentioned, it will be the first interview out of 2, and it will be with the program consultant. We'll have a talk with you. What are your intentions? What is your motivation? So just a general talk, and it will be also a great possibility for you to ask me the questions if you have some, not to write maybe a long emails, but to ask all these questions like in a private talk. And then if everything is good from your side, from our side as well, then we can forward you to the interview with the program director. This will be a 30-minute, in some cases 45 minutes, depends, of course, interview, like a video call, Skype interview. It's usually with the program director. It's admission head of admission committee with the corresponding master program. I mean, for example, if you are applying for energy engineering, of course, you will have an interview with the program director of energy engineering master program. And then within several days already after the interview, latest within 1 week, you will receive already feedback from us whether you are admitted or not. And then, of course, the thing that this is not an enrollment letter, this is just an admission letter that you are admitted, that you fulfilled all the requirements. And then if you pay the first installment, then you will receive like the proper letter of admission, and then you can apply to the for the visa since you need it for the visa application. And now we go smoothly to the financial aspects. So as a business school of the KIT, we have tuition fees. These tuition fees are 36,000 euros, but you don't need to pay the whole amount at once. So actually, the students regularly pay 4 times, so 4 installments with 9,000 euros each. Of course, we are also flexible. For example, there is also possible to pay 6 installments with 6,000 euros each, but this is here on the slide. Oh, sorry. Here on the slide, you can see, yeah, like quite regular what the students are doing. Then, of course, we will receive invoices and checks and so on. And if you are paying for installments, you usually need to pay, for example, for the next year, you start until the September 25, you need to make the first installment, then in March 26, the third in September 26, and the first installment in March 27. If you're wondering what are the living expenses per month in Karlsruhe, so here is like an approximate overview, because of course it depends on the students and how they're used to live, for example. But housing, it is possible to find a flat with 600, 700 euros per month. It is also possible to live in the building of international department. Then health insurance, it is a must. It costs at least 100 euros, so 100, 120 euros per month. So you need also to take it into account. Then food and beverages. So here it's really flexible. Yeah, 200, but it depends on you. If you would like to eat every day ribeye steaks, of course it will be a little bit more expensive. If you eat not so yeah, expensive food, that it will be less. Yeah, it's just a matter of choice. And also the other thing like leisure sport and travel, this is also yeah, approximately 100 euro, but you need also take into account that it's very personal, it depends. So in total it is approximately 1,000 euros just for the life expenses. And last but not least, what I actually just forgot to mention, that there is also a KIT enrollment fee, 155 euro per semester. So it goes not to us, but goes to the main KIT to give you a student card and provide you with the access to the all KIT facilities. So this is the structure of our executive master programs of any. This is like a universal one. For the intake 25, we have intake just once a year, so the earliest possible date for you to start is the 29th of October, oh, of September, sorry. And this is how it starts. So it starts with the 2 weeks of management modules, as I mentioned a little bit earlier at the very beginning. This is like full days of studying, and then Saturdays students usually have exams. So Saturdays exams on the 4th of September, for example, or of October, sorry, the lecturer, the professor will prove your knowledge of every topic that was covered during the week. So on the second week, on the second Saturday, the knowledge will be checked and tested what was received in the second week. So it's not that you need that you have, for example, just one exam after 2 weeks and you need to keep all the knowledge of these 2 weeks in mind. No. So 1 week is done, exam on the topics that were done during the week. Then there is a break from 4 to 6 weeks. For example, this here it's 4 weeks, and then there is 6 weeks in December because of Christmas holidays. Then after the break, the students need to come back. I say this because, for example, you don't need to stay within the break in Karlsruhe. If you found a job, for example, in Munich, Berlin, and so on, you can work there. But when the module starts, you need to come back to attend all the lectures live. And then Saturdays again, exams, and that's it. And this is the structure, and everything will be done. I mean, if we are talking about the modules, everything will be done until the middle of December, and then it comes to the master thesis, master topics. It takes from 6 to 9 months to write this. To write it, of course, it depends on the master program. For some master programs, it's just 6 months. For other master programs, it's 9 months. But then you have time, just to dedicate yourself and your time to write a proper master thesis. You can do both. Write it either at the institute of the KIT or at the company. In any cases, you will have a supervisor that will support you. If you would like to write more in the research direction, then I would recommend you to go to write master thesis at the institute. If you would like to go more to the application direction, then of course at the company. So now we are moving slowly to the end. I have just 4 or 5 slides left. So let us have a look at the city. Actually, Karlsruhe is not such a big city with 300,000 people living. They living here, maybe a little bit more. However, this is the second biggest city in Baden-Württemberg. So this is like the Bundesland where we are located, and this is just an advantage for us at the business school, for you, the students, that there are a lot of companies that are located in the radius of 100 kilometers, and these companies are both as well as big enterprises like big companies like Porsche, Mercedes, Diers, and so on, and BASF, SAP, and so on. And also there is a lot of startups that are found in that are funded here, that are taking place here. So in these terms, in this sense, the city is very good developed and is still developing, and there is a lot of money that are being invested in the city, and the city is growing, and yeah, actually quite a good place to be in. Also, this is, for example, on the picture, you can see a city center. This, I hope you see my mouse, this building that I'm showing, this is the building of international department. So we are located just in the center of the city, just in the opposite of Schloss, of the castle of the city. And you see the gardens that are going around. So this is like a really green city, good infrastructure with a lot of public transport, bikes, lines, and so on. And this is why we are ranked as one of the 3 top smart cities in Germany. So of course, sport events, cultural events. By the way, here you can see the stadium of the football club Karlsruhe. So everything is going on around, and especially location. As I mentioned, location is very good. We are not so far from Stuttgart, just 1 hour with the train. Mannheim, 40 minutes, sorry, with the tram. Munich is just 2-3 hours. Heidelberg is also within 1 hour. And if you're, for example, keen on France, France is also 1.5 hours from here. You can reach Strasbourg. It's 50 kilometers from us. Also with 1.5 hour with a tram. So the location is perfect to spend good your free time, and of course for your professional development. Yeah, so here are some pictures of the city, very green, very colorful. So you can see there is like a light show that is going on every year, like annually in August. There is also like a big festival called Das Fest, like a music one, 2-3 days of music all day long on the big flat green area. A lot of restaurants, bars, and for example, on this picture you can see the pyramid. This is like the biggest sightseeing of the city, located on the Marktplatz. This is like a marketplace in the city center. You can see also the Rathaus, and this is just 2 minutes from the building of international department where we are located. As I mentioned, our building is located in the city center, so castle. From the other side, we have this pyramid. There is also possible to live in the building of international departments. So We can provide you with accommodation, but you need to tell us a little bit earlier because there are a lot of students and a lot of inquiries about the accommodation. So to find a proper room, flat for you, it always takes time. They're all modern. It's possible to have like a personal flat, but also like a shared living area, good study environment, because you see, for example, this building, this skyscraper, if I can tell it like this is already the part of the KIT campus. So from here to the KIT campus, it's 5 minute to walk. So it's like a real pleasant study environment. Then we have also state-of-the-art seminar rooms, and everything is located just here, so you don't need to go far or to spend 30, 40, or even 1 hour to reach the point. So everything is just, yeah, you can reach everything by walk. And here are the frequently asked questions about the study. So in the meantime, you can write your own questions in the chat if you have some, so I could answer them. But here, when does the master start? So annually, we start in October and of September. For example, this year we start on the 29th of September. Is German needed? For the study, to study at Hector School, you don't need German knowledge. So since we offer English-speaking master programs, you need to provide us just with English. However, if you would like to simplify your life, I mean, simplify your life not only every day, but also a professional, I would recommend you to start learn German as soon as possible, because with German knowledge, it will be easier to find a full-time position after you obtain your master degree here. Will the certificate, Master of Science certificate from the KIT or Hector School, it will be actually issued by the KIT. It will be stated that you are Master of Science in the selected and chosen master program. It will be issued by KIT, signed by the head of KIT. Everything is from KIT, since, as I mentioned, we are part of KIT. Am I allowed to do a PhD afterwards? Yes, you are allowed to do it. The only thing that, of course, you need to fulfill the requirements that are needed for the PhD, but we have regularly several cases, I mean, regularly each year, when the student decide to continue their scientific journey and then they go and do their PhD. What are the job perspectives? As I mentioned, if we are talking about the job perspectives while you are studying, they're actually quite good, because yeah, we help you, we support you to find the job, so we'll definitely find one. If we are talking about the job perspectives after you obtain your master degree, they're also very good, because KIT is ranked #1 in Germany for the job foundings. So I mean, if you are alumni of the KIT, it's a very good sign for the employer to hire you. And yeah, there are, since we are located in a good region with a lot of companies located around, so there will be not a big issue to find a position. But please don't forget the thing that I mentioned several minutes ago. There are possibilities to find positions in English, but if you know German, it will simplify your life to find a better position, a better, I mean, that fits best you. And yeah, since everyday language of speaking is German mostly, so it will just simplify your life. Yeah, so I see already there are some questions in the chat, so we will start with the first one. For language, if I did bachelor's in English, do I still need English certification? No, you don't need it. That will be good if you provide us with this statement that your bachelor was in English. Yeah, it can be just from university, or sometimes in transcript of records it is stated at the beginning of the transcript of records that the lectures were in English. So no, in this case you don't need to provide any other extra certificate. Are there any scholarships or financial aid opportunities? Yes, but it depends on the master program you are interested at. What I mean, so we have one partner scholarship called VDI. So this is Verein von Deutschen Ingenieuren, and this is our partners. So it means since you are no, not since once you are already enrolled as a student, so it means you even paid the first installment, you can apply for the scholarship, and the only requirement is to be enrolled at the Hector School. You don't need to submit any other documents. You just need to let us know that you are interested into this scholarship, and then we will forward your application to the scholarship. However, this scholarship is just valid for two master programs. The first is Mobility Systems Engineering and Management, and the second master program is Management of Product Development. So if you are the student enrolled to one of these two master programs, you can apply for this scholarship. If not, please visit our website. We have there a big list with more than 20 or 30 external scholarships. External scholarship means that we don't have any partnership with them, so you need to fulfill the requirements your own. So if you fulfill them, you can apply. If you don't fulfill them, unfortunately, you cannot apply, and then you need to do everything on your own. So to see whether you fulfill requirements, to submit the application, to prepare all the documents, to go through the process, you need to do it on your own. But as I mentioned, you can find the information on our website. So this I answered as well. So what is the finish rate for the energy module program? How challenging in the entire program? Well, there are just few students that are leaving us because, for example, they are not maybe too good for the program. I mean, if we are talking in general, for example, last year, if we are talking about the year intake 23, we had 62, 63 students, and just 3 of them left. But once again, this is not for energy, this is in general. But one left, because of the poor results of exams, and 2 other left because they were sponsored by the companies, and then they needed to switch the companies, and there was like the further problem to pay the tuition fees. That's why they changed it. But if we are talking specifically about energy engineering master program, like the failure rate is very small. So of course it's challenging to study since the knowledge are quite good, quite deep. However, if you are attending the lectures, if you try to understand it, and if you are really into the subject, so it will not be a big issue to finish. However, yeah, it depends totally on you. So the next question: if my degree is not listed in the ANABIN database, is a statement of required for application, does sector convert? Well, actually, we use Anabin. That's true. We use Anabin database to prove, to check your university. So if it is not in Anabin, it's actually not so good. However, you can write me an email here. You can see it. You can write either me an email or my colleague, but please pay attention that my colleague, she's not this week and not next week, so she will come just in 2 weeks. So please write this once again, and we will have a look at the operation with main KIT. But yeah, usually we use Anabin as a source of confirmation. If some modules are conducted overseas, will the school handle the arrangements such as travel, accommodation, and visas, or will we need to organize this ourselves? So what is going on about the visas? Here we help you. Our operations department is supporting you here, and in general travel, we will also support you. However, accommodation, we will support you to find it if you have some struggles. However, you need to pay for this as well, and you need to pay as well for the airplane tickets on your own. However, if you need any kind of support in this, our operations department, they will be glad to help you and to support you during this modules. So there is also not a big problem to attend them. Next question. How flexible are the modules if there are important projects coming up at work? Can I skip certain modules? Yes, 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 yes. So modules and the structure in general are very flexible. So if you are having a big project at the company, we can create a schedule just for you. So just a personal schedule. Also, there is a possibility to extend the duration of study. So usually students are studying 2 years, so they are done in 2 years. Of course, this is with master thesis. It is possible to extend the duration of study to 3 years, to 4 years, up to 5 years. The price will remain the same. So, for example, if you are studying 3 years, the price will remain 36,000 euros. The only thing that will change, these are installments. And that's it. So if you need more time to work, that's not a problem, but please just let us know, not when the module starts, but we are 1-2 months before, so we could prepare everything, so we could notify professors and so on. But this is actually quite a widespread practice here, that maybe you are missing one module, not a problem. You will retake it, so don't worry, everything will be fine. But as I mentioned, once again, I will repeat because it's crucially important. Please let us know this everything as soon as possible. So next question. You mentioned that there is a scholarship available and we need just to apply for it. Could you provide more details on the scholarship, such as selection process and what factors determine the success of an application? Additionally, what does the scholarship cover? Any obligation for recipients? So I can tell you just about this partner scholarship, because this is a partner one. That's why I know a little bit about it. Once you are admitted, you receive this admission letter. Once you paid, then you will receive like a real proper admission letter, like so-called enrollment letter. As soon as you receive it, then you write us that, hey, I'm interested in the scholarship since I'm studying, for example, management of product development. Then you write to our recruitment manager and admission manager, or contact me, for example. That's also fine. And then we will tell you what documents you need, but actually just a CV. Yeah, and actually usually that's it. Then we will forward ourselves the documents to the VDI, to this verein, to this unity of engineering, and then it will take like 1-2 months, usually 2 months, for them to screen your application, to review it, and then to provide you with a scholarship. So the selection process, as far as I know, it includes everything. It includes everything based on your success. I mean, how good you were in bachelor, how great, how high were the grades. Do you have any extra certificates, any other extra projects, how social you are active, and many other things. But yeah, that you mentioned actually in your CV. And then they will make the decision whether you will receive the scholarship and which amount. Here I need to say that this scholarship, this is actually not a real money, but this is a reduction of the tuition fees. For example, if they say that you obtain the scholarship 3,000 euros, for example, this means that your tuition fees, they will be reducted. So you will need to pay not 36,000 euros, but 33,000 euros. So this is not a real money that you can touch or to see the numbers on your bank account. So this is a reduction of tuition fees. So let's move on. Several questions more. I see here. Is there an upper age limit for attending the master program? Actually not. I mean, I don't know your age. It might, for example, it doesn't matter for us if you are 20, if you are 40, 45, 50, it doesn't matter for us. For us, the most important thing that as soon as you fulfill all the requirements, all the admission requirements, you can take part on it, really. So if you are, for example, 20 and you have already your bachelor degree and 2 years of working experience, please welcome. If you are, for example, 45, you're also welcome. Yeah, you definitely have more than 2 years of working experience, so that's not a problem. So as soon as, yeah, so if you fulfill all the requirements, you can apply for us. That's not a problem. Age is not a problem for us. Next question. If my degree is listed in the Anabin database, but it's only partially recognized, plus minus. Okay. Were implications for my application statement necessary? So actually, if there is plus minus, we will move further with your application. I mean, we will proceed with it. So if you have plus minus, that's fine. You can apply. That's not a problem. The problem would be just if you have just a minus, or as I mentioned, the university is not in Anabin, there would be problems with minus. Unfortunately, we cannot accept you as well. If it is not in Anabin in general, we need to ask to clarify this question. But if it is plus minus, you can apply that. You don't need to worry. Regarding the partnership scholarship you just mentioned, is it possible for the amount to vary, including the possibility of receiving a full scholarship? Well, you can obtain just up to 15,000 euros. So it's not possible to receive a scholarship for the whole amount, for the whole tuition fees, for the 36,000 euros. It is possible to receive up to 15,000 euros. How big the amount will be that you will receive? Well, it depends, unfortunately, not on us. I cannot tell you. But the maximum that you can receive is 15,000 euros. So, one more question. Okay. So, could you please repeat what letter is required from the university college where the bachelor degree was completed? So this is so-called letter of recommendation. You need to ask your lecturer, your professor, your scientific supervisor to write a letter of recommendation for you. So I mean, it is not just from the student that you were studying with. No, it must be lecturer, professor, maybe a doctor as well. There must be a letter that, for example, if we are talking about the lecturer, the professor, that where he or she stated that he or she uh, had such a lectures for you. For example, applied mathematics, the duration was 2 years, and which topics, for example, were covered there, and then about your characteristic that, for example, you were very active during the lectures, during the exercises, during the practices, that you were like really also helpful for the to the other students, that you were very passionate, maybe, if you know what I mean, that you are like really interested, that you showed very good knowledge and dedication to the certain topics, and that's it. So just a letter of your characteristics, how good you were at the university, of course, in a certain subject. So nothing special, but this must be. So, one more question. There is a potential problem here because my bachelor's was 23 years back. Okay. I'm not sure I can find any lectures from my course now. Okay, I see. I see right now where the problem is. Yeah. So after 23 years, the majority, they can just retire, change the university. Okay. So I suggest you, could you please write me an email? Here's my email address. Please write me an email. I will ask at the KIT. I will ask what can we do in this situation, because it's really unusual one. That's why I need to ask. But please don't be scared. This will not be how is a rejection, a matter of rejection. So we will not reject your application just because you haven't provided us with the letter of recommendation. But this is an interesting question. So please write me an email with this question, and I will answer you back as soon as I will clarify it. Next question. So regarding the work experience requirements, if I will have the required working experience by the start of semester, but not by the time of application, will this be still considered eligible for admission? Yes. If you, for example, I assume that right now you may have 1.5 years of working experience, maybe 1 year, 4 months, 5 months, you can apply already right now, since the master program starts at the end of September, October, since so if by the beginning, so if by the October this year you will have 2 years of working experience, you can apply. We will proceed your application further, so that will not be a problem. It's totally fine for us. The most important thing that you will have these 2 years of working experience by the time of the start of master program. Of course, it will be also good when you apply. Also, please write me that Timir, I applied for such master program, but right now I have 1.5, for example, 1.5 years of working experience. But by the beginning, I will have 2 years. So please write me this once you will apply. So I also keep the situation so we don't lose it, or our admission writes you back with rejection, but usually it works, so don't be afraid, just let me know so I could also keep everyone updated. So last message right now. Thank you. I would like to thank you everyone for the attention. Thank you for joining me, for joining, first of all, of course, the online info sessions. And here's one more question. Will the scholarship eligibility and amount be determined before we are required to make any payment, or the scholarship decision made after the payment is submitted? So here is such a thing. You need to do the first installment. You need to pay the first installment. This first installment is 9,000 euros. Then you can apply to the scholarship, and once you receive the money of the scholarship, your further installments will be reducted. For example, as I mentioned, you need to pay 4 installments, each 9,000 euros. First installment will be 9,000 euros, but for example, if you receive 5,000 euros reduction before the second installment, second time you need to pay just 4,000 euros. So this reduction will be from the next installment. Vielen Dank. Gerne, gerne, gerne. So once again, thank you very much for attending this online info session. Thank you very much for the questions. I'm really happy that there were like plenty of them, and I also hope that it was useful for you. So thank you very much once again. And once again, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Here is my email address, timir.vinohodov@kit.edu. I'm working as a junior program consultant. And as I mentioned, since my colleague from admission committee, she's absent this and the next week. So please write me, not to lose several weeks or not to forget the questions or something like this. So then that's it. Very last question. Will this recorded session be shared to us? Well, actually, that's a good question, because I'm doing it the first time, not regularly. So I'm not like really familiar with the recordings, how they will be proceeded further. So unfortunately, this question I cannot answer, because as I mentioned, my colleague usually does it, and today I'm in charge because she's absent. But I hope um, But it doesn't matter if you have any other questions or you need to repeat something. We can arrange a private MS Teams meeting where I can repeat the answers once again. That's not a problem. Or if you need to specify something else, that's not a problem. But yeah, without what is about recording, I'm not really sure. So sorry. Yeah, then I will stop the webinar. Thank you very much once again, and I wish you the good Wednesday ahead and then the good rest of the week. Thank you and goodbye.